So at camp, Sexy Summer Camp, which Reid runs, amazing event, there was a lot of talk about, people were talking about what microaggressions were and how to make people feel valued and welcome. Mandalay did a lot of talk to that really well.
Mm-hmm.
And one question we had was, what's the difference between a microaggression and genuine expression? For instance, if one person always says, you get to hang out with me, which seems like a minor devaluation.
To hang out with me, okay.
Versus that's just how they feel. Like, how do you determine the difference between a microaggression and genuine expression? This is Reid Mahalko from readaboutsex.com.
Cathy from theintimacydojo.com. I'm curious. Explain more the example you just gave.
Okay, so if you have a friend that's always saying...
Or define microaggression for the audience.
Oh, yes. Microaggression means a little baby put down that might not be seen as that by like general society, someone who's not knowing to look for it, but that over time can wear people down. So
sure.
Just a small, not like
for you as somebody who's a woman of size, and you're like, oh my goodness, those clothes look amazing on your shape.
Yeah, like little things.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
There could be this assumption that, like, what? Things aren't supposed to look good on bodies like this?
Yeah.
Or for me, I got a lot of, wow, you're really smart for a jock.
Yeah.
Back in high school, which kind of felt like a compliment, but the assumption was jocks aren't smart.
Yeah, I've got then you're really smart. You're really smart for a female engineer. And it's like, and they're not like huge aggression where I felt physically threatened, but it's like, wow, that was kind of a put down. And if you don't, one may not be a big deal, but if you hear it like 3-5 times a day over time, it starts to wear people down.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of discussion about how there's a lot of microaggressions in our society towards people of color, women, people of size,
women, people like all the isms.
Yeah, all the isms. So I'm curious, if you have a friend that always feels like they are letting you hang out with them, as opposed to like we're mutually hanging out together, or someone feels like they're always saying, they'll often say, you got to hang out with me.
Mm-hmm.
Which feels like a minor devaluation, like I'm allowing you to hang out with me. I don't value the relationship as much as you do.
Okay.
Is that a microaggression or a genuine expression of what they feel, and how do you define the difference between those two?
Well, they can be both.
Yeah.
Like, you can genuinely think somebody's articulate, and the microaggression is, people like me can't be articulate or smart or this or that.
Right.
So I think in some ways the microaggression is determined by the person it's landing on. Mm-hmm. Because another way to think about it, and again, these are just my thoughts, there are people that are way smarter about this, so do some Googling and find some people who are smarter than me about microaggressions, because this is their area of expertise. But the idea of, if I said you were, oh my goodness, like, you're just so smart, I love how you love math.
Yeah.
And it didn't land on you like...
Well, if you didn't say for a woman, then it wouldn't land on.
But a man saying that to a woman, right? Like, so I think there's also the other piece of how it lands on the person.
Right.
So, there's this kind of dynamic. However, I think where, especially for me as a cisgendered white guy, what has been useful is to understand that what a microaggression is, and to have more awareness of what I'm saying. And if I feel like I'm genuinely complimenting somebody, or even, when I'm, it's more about just awareness about how things land on people,
yeah.
And where and how is what I'm saying, where's it coming from? Because culture rules so much of us, influences so much of us. And then, of course, there's also just power dynamics involved. So back to your question of, if somebody feels like they're letting somebody have access to something, then if that's true for them, it can still be a microaggression. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if in a corporate world or something, if a company gives you a job does that occur like a microaggression? Like
No, but if a friend tells me, "Oh, you get to hang out with me," that sometimes feels very like either passive aggressive or kind of a devaluation of who I am. Like they don't want to hang out with me as much as I want to hang out with them. They're allowing me, permitting me to spend time in their presence.
okay,
So,
but so okay, I don't know that I understand the example as much. Probably everyone else does, and they're like, "Wow, Reid's not getting it."
no, it could be I'm not explaining it well, but I'm just.
Well, what about this? Here's a good example. If you have a little sister or a little brother,
Mhm.
right? I know you have siblings, and you let them go to the movies with you
Yes.
and your older friends,
Right.
is that a microaggression?
I think for children, not so much.
Okay. And do you have people that you care about that you don't want them around you all the time?
Certainly.
So when you do let them hang, when you make an exception or invite them along for something, and you have a preference that maybe you didn't want them there, is that are you being microaggressive?
Maybe it's more passive aggressive if I let it out as if they don't matter to me very much, or I'm doing them a favor.
And what if you actually were doing them a favor?
Then I think it's time to reevaluate the relationship.
Okay.
Especially if it's happening a lot.
Okay.
So
that sounds fair.
Yeah. What do you think? Did you understand the concept? And
Yes.
what are your thoughts on this? We'd love to hear.
Comments. Leave comments.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to my social media, it's right there. And please subscribe to this channel there. If you'd like to see more goofy Reid and Cathy, there's more videos there.
See them. Why are they there?